Hello and welcome to the Three Muckrakers for Friday the 7th of April 2017. This is the program that begins with the joke, a Welshman, a Scot and an American walk into a bar and then disintegrates from there. We produce a weekly satirical look at politics and business news from around the globe, and we're very grateful politicians take themselves so seriously that they regularly serve up massive helpings of theater of the absurd. And the simple fact that we're all still here this morning after 59 cruise missiles were launched against a Syrian airfield by the USA's Cinnamon Man-child, well, he needs to look strong. So we're at war with Syria, and North Korea's got next. This is our New Beginnings episode, as the Tin Lady huffed and puffed and told Europe how Brexit was going to work, only to be quickly smacked down by EU President Donald Tusk. He told her and her Brexiteers last week that it would be the 27 other EU nations who would dictate the terms of Brexit, not her or her party's inflated and very fragile egos. Not liking that answer, a Tory surrogate apparently threatened war with Spain over Gibraltar, a giant covered rock. Stop me if you've heard this one before. In the USA, President Trump, who we refer to as 45, his number in the line of presidential succession, well, anyways, he put on his big boy pants, launched a bunch of missiles, and tried to divert attention from the Russian noose tightening around his neck, and chose misdirection as the so-called adults in the room, that would be the U.S. Senate and their Intelligence Committee, although we'll talk about adulthood in a little bit, raised questions that the House Intelligence Group would not or could not ask nor answer. 45 then released an early morning tweet load of misdirection chaff designed to confuse the many missiles headed towards him. He demanded an investigation into a long ago debunked story where he claimed without facts that Obama wiretapped Trump Tower. And he also blamed the Syrian gas attack on Obama's weakness, called Obama NSC chief Susan Rice a criminal who kept spreadsheets of his and demanded that she be criminally charged. I swear, you just cannot make this stuff up.
No, what could go wrong?
I'm Dennis Campbell, editor of ukprogressive.co.uk magazine, and I hail from the coastal village of Longmoor-by-Sea.
And I'm Phil Parry. For 23 years, I was at the BBC, but I got a pass and dug a tunnel. And I live in Cardiff. I've been here for 33 years. And I now edit the investigative website, the-i-investigates.uk. You know, check it out, because we need all the help we can get. Yeah. Paul.
I'm Paul Halliday, former minister, businessman, political and religious commentator, and for my sins, recovering politician. I know.
Well, I'm not quite sure how we got in this room, but they must have left a door unlocked and we snuck in. But yeah. 2.5 years ago, on the day of the first Scottish independence referendum, Phil and I started a weekly news and satirical podcast looking at global politics and business news, and then Paul joined us. 112 episodes later, we're here in the Maiden Cardiff studios, and this is our first telly episode of the Three Muckrakers. We examine weekly the comedy-rich terrain of Welsh, UK, and US politics with a sometimes serious, sometimes satirical, and sometimes cynical bent.